Yeah, I'm not talking, that's why I don't hear any sound, but it's working, yeah. I just had to restart the software, but like you can see my mouse moving and you should see my face. And it should all be fine and working. Now, let's just do a test, quick one. That sound should be heard. And you should be able to see Nexus. Looks good, right? Yeah, cool. Okay, then we can actually start. Damn. This is so annoying. I always have like... I had OBS before and it was even worse, that it would freeze. And it seems like this one does it too. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I was actually dissecting some of the presets I saw on here. Yeah, I just wanted to look at some of the presets I really liked in here, especially from the factory library. There were pianos in there. Just seeing, is that... Yeah, my mouse is still working. Nice, cool. Yeah, so what I did and what you probably didn't see was I had a look at the Ballad Grand piano, and I also had a look at the Powerful and Bright, and it turns out they were all just based off samples. I mean, there's some effects on here, but like these are like really... I thought there was more to it, but it turned out these are just like great samples. Like the envelopes are a little bit different and it seems like... Yeah, so this one is filtered. No, it doesn't do anything. I mean, even this, it's probably all, like, I think the old samples, a lot of them are old presets, are actually based off samples. Where's the attack lead 3? Is that, did they remove that? Oh, it's, I'm selecting pianos here. Like, how does that look like? How is that made? Yeah, it's a fucking sample. What the fuck? I thought it was synthesis. It's a damn sample. Look at it. I mean, there's really... Wow. Okay, yeah, so that's... Essentially, that's the sample. Well, the thing is, Nexus is not sample-based only. It has oscillators. Actually, I can show you, because I've seen that today in the video. So right now it's a sampler, but you have 8 other options. And before it was virtual analog, which is like what we're gonna have a look at in a second. There's sampler, time stretch, and wavetable. So these were always there. And with Nexus 5, there's 4 new ones. There's like a retro sampler, I think like a grain delay kind of thing there, or a granular synthesizer, then cloud and FM. So it always was capable of synthesizing sounds. But in that case, the ones that we have just had a look at, these are just like samples. You can see down here. Well, yeah, not for piano sounds. You're not gonna make a great piano sound out of a, or at least not an acoustic piano sound out of a preset, out of a synth here. But like, there's a lot of new ones, I think, that are actually made with the synthesis. So we're gonna go to the library and actually have a look at... I'm a little confused with the UI here. Okay, so there's a new expansion, which is Nexus 5. Let's like go through some of this. What's also crazy is that you can turn off the previews, Yeah, and it's like one click, so this is how fast the presets load. It's crazy fast. Make this a little bit quiet. I think this one is actually made with an FM synthesizer. Yeah, you can see it here. Create this really belly sound, and this one you can probably... I mean, mod wheels, I think it's not linked, but it should. Oh, right, and there's also... There's now macros down here. So you can control different stuff here. So that sounds interesting. There's also OTT in here. That sounds like a sample. So that's like a wavetable here. Interesting. And this one? So it's two wavetables combined. Sounds pretty good for being a wavetable. Usually wavetables sound way more stretched. Like in Serum you... Wait, why is it like... In Serum you won't get it like sounding like this. Let's look some lead sounds here. What do we got here? But this is also a sample. It's very interesting. So I thought there was a lot more synth bass actually. Yeah, you can see this is all samples. Okay. Okay, now this is completely made of a... Jeez, this is like... I'm having a hard time, like... There's so many windows and things to click on. Yeah, but this is actually... It's a solo wave. We get a live preview how the waveform changes. Okay. The oscillator is kind of weird, to be honest. Like with the knobs, I don't know. Let me just, can we initialize a preset and just like reset to init? So just gonna check. Yeah, the wavetable visual looks much better than Serum. I would still suggest using a brighter theme so that it would show better on the screen. Why would it show better on the screen with the different theme? Let's try it out. I'm open to change that. So how do you like, can you change the themes here? Because there are new themes coming. What's that? Oh, there's a keyboard. Nice. But that's not what I think. The themes were somewhere here. But it doesn't look like they're here. Is there more? What do we got here? No. Interface. Maybe the themes are not there yet. Because this is just the retro look. I don't think themes are possible yet, but like if you find a way to do it, then just let me know. Actually want to make this bigger. Okay, initialize preset. So what can we do with this thing? Yeah, like compared to Serum, the workflow is like, okay, where do I start now? There's like 100 windows open and like 100 knobs in front of me. Okay, so virtual analog is basically like a digital synthesizer. I don't know what's like analog about that. So you can have the volume here of a saw wave. I have to like adjust the volume here a little bit. Okay. So then I have panning, then I have... Okay, this is transposing it. This is detuning it. And then you have key tracking. Okay, this is controlling the detune, I think. Oh, this is controlling the detune based on the key tracking, so... Is that... Okay, either it's like velocity sensitive, or it's like if I play a low note it will be a low pitch and then... Which makes no sense. I think it's velocity sensitive. Anyway, this one... This is a drive. Okay, so we have a distortion. Actually, I want to turn off the delay. Other sounds here. Okay. Oh, you have 3 distortion types right here. So you have asymmetric. It's nice how visual it actually is. But why does it... Like, I'm kind of confused about the... What if I... How do I select a different waveform? So I have this thing here now. I'm not getting it. Where's the waveform? Oh, it's in here. Okay, here's the waveform. Okay, so with a sine wave you can usually see the best what the distortion actually does. Oh, and there's a delay as well. This is actually pretty useful. Like sometimes you want the sound to start later. Okay, got it. Let's have a look at the next thing. So we have modulation, PWM. Why is that not working? So for PWM we need a saw wave, right? No, for sync. Why can't we? Why is that not working? Do we need like a... Oh, we need to morph it into like... Okay. Yeah, that's pretty useful. What is that? Okay, I've never seen something like this. I don't know what that is, but... Yeah, that's a pulse wave. But it's a morphed one. Interesting. Okay, let's just stick with the sine saw wave here. So we have, the next thing is, we have sync, and then we have polygonal, which is, I guess, for the poly thing here. I don't know what that is. Oh, you can add an octave. Okay. Let's get this a little bit more interesting. We wanna not have the octave. Oh, it has retrigger. Where is that? Wait, how do I turn off the retrigger? Phase random. Ah, there we go. Okay. Let me just pull that down a little bit. Okay, so something feels odd about this. Is this filtered? Oh, there's a filter on top. Oh, I see, okay. I was wondering why it sounds so bright. I feel like the detune sounds a little bit different than on other synths. Okay, so that's like basic saw thing here. What can we do with the filter? It's like so weird, like navigating through this thing, because if I want to do something in Serum, I'm just like I don't even think about what I need to do technically. But here it's like, oh god, how am I gonna do that now? Can we do like an LFO on the filter? I think we could do something cool here. So if I want the filter... Oh god, how do I do that? If I want the filter to be controlled by the LFO. Let's just make sure there's... Oh, there's people here, nice. What are people talking in the chat? Dun dun. Yeah, there's no theme. What is your general thought about the debate if Nexus is outdated? I recently deinstalled Omnisphere because I found the presets unusable, mostly due to their complexity. I prefer Nexus 1. Yeah, there's a problem with Nexus that, like, I always found that you need to buy the expansions to find good sounds. But the expansions are like, what are they, like 60 or 80 euro one? And for every expansion I bought, I found like a few cool sounds in there. So I feel like you have to go through a lot of sounds just to get good sounds out of it. And then now that really always depended on the sound designers from ReFX, making sure the sounds are good in there. And I think with this move now that it's like an open thing, there will be sound designers making their own expansions for Nexus. You know, and that can change a lot. Like that basically changes everything because the capability of Nexus is there of making like extremely good sounds. So it depends on who makes the sounds, I would say, if it's outdated or not. And they do make a lot of modern packs, I just never really used them. So I think it's quite interesting to see what's gonna happen out of Nexus opening up this editor now that it's open and you can make your own stuff with it. Yeah, we should actually compare the reeds. I just wanna like do the LFO thing first. So I'm dragging the LFO onto what? Like onto this here? Yeah, that's it, I guess, right? So I can... But what if I wanted to do the full... No, that's not what I want. What am I doing here? Come on, Nathan, get it together. Okay, so how about we just open this thing up? Okay, this is kind of what I want, I guess. So it's closed. It's already closed at 0, right? So why can't I go into the negative then? Doesn't matter. Okay, let's increase the speed. Now we got the Kaigo intro thing. Can I want it to be triggered when note on? Yeah. Okay. So this is the filter per voice? No, I don't think so, right? It's like all the sounds together being filtered, okay. Okay, how do we... Oh wow. We have like just a little movement here. Oh, this is velocity sensitive. So now it's not velocity sensitive anymore, okay. Like anyone who's like not having headphones is not hearing anything right now because this is like a sub bass. There's some crazy effects in here. So this is main FX. I think you just insert. There's some really weird stuff like a puncher. I've seen that. Oh, it's turned off. Wait. Actually, I think it doesn't really work on a bass like that. Let's turn the LFO off. How do I get rid of the LFO? There we go. So I wanna shouldn't it be like oh, this is what I want. It's actually quite like the sounds are really good. Like this sounds you can make some crazy. So this is the puncher, I think, right? I mean, this is... Yeah, this is crazy. It's actually really nice. This is so powerful, and the sound is so simple. Like, this is... What do we got here? We got a saw wave, just being detuned slightly, and then like a filter. So I guess like the debate of Nexus being outdated is over. In general, like deep house guys prefer ready-to-use sounds and spend time songwriting rather than creating sounds from scratch. Yeah, I mean, there's like, if you want to make music, then you like make music, and if you want to make sounds like I do, I make most of the time just sounds. And this is why like sound designers like do this work, and then you can just use this interface here and like scroll through the sounds and see what it does. I want to do like a little, I don't know, a little comparison here with Nexus. I noticed a weird thing. I think the VST version is really laggy. I'm not sure if it's still the case. Yeah, you see that? There's like a, it's like a little, it's not, there's like a very slight. Okay, now it's better actually. I started earlier this day and it was a little bit laggy. And then I switched to the AU version. Okay, let's go to initialize. We did already initialize that. Okay, dum-dum. So this is Nexus saw. And this is the Serum saw. Actually, we want to have maybe a little bit. Let's go down. So this is filtered, you can already hear that. We can look through it. Actually, we can sidechain one into the other. This is also quite interesting. So we can use Pro Q3 and then we can actually see what's different about them. So I want, where am I on? I'm Serum, so I want Nexus to be sidechained here. Should be here. There it is. Yeah, so you can already actually, we don't need to have it on. But you can already see I've muted the sound, so don't worry, the sound is working. So the volume is a little bit different. The Serum one is a little bit... Actually, let's loop that. Okay, loop the whole thing, yeah. Okay, so let's adjust the volume. Okay, it matches perfectly. Now if we open up the filter, geez, the window is so huge. You can see there's a little bit of a difference actually here. So none of, wait, is all turned off here? There's nothing going on. Okay, so this is like the first difference you can see. So what we're looking at right now is the Serum waveform, and the red one is the Nexus waveform. So it's a little bit brighter, the saw wave. It's quite interesting. I just want to check that it was like, let's look that up with silence, because I think the silent one also looks a little bit different. Silent one saw. Let's look, make sure they're in the same octave here. Okay, I think the octave is right. I just need to initialize the preset. No, that's too low. Too high. Yeah. And it needs to be random phase. And I think the rest is fine. Okay, if we sidechain that now into... Okay, this is too quiet. How do we... Oh. Can we like crank that up a little bit more? I guess we have to bring down the serum a little bit. Okay, so let's match that. Let's match that also again. I want to have like a precise comparison of that. Silent one, so now we want to have the Nexus now in there. I need to match the volume here as well. It needs to be a little bit lower. Yeah, okay, cool. So what we can see here is actually pretty interesting. So if you play the Nexus saw, the Nexus is the one with the red line here. So it's slightly brighter. Now let's switch to the silent saw. The silent saw also has something, actually, I want to bring this down. Very interesting. I mean, it's almost the same, it's just that the Serum one has a little roll off. But it's barely audible, right? So this is this is Nexus, and this is silent. But are they now volume matched? Now that I feel like I heard a little difference in that. Oh, yeah, it sounds a little bit more buzzy, right? Yeah, so that's actually that can change quite a lot if the foundational sound is different. It can have a lot of effects on what's going to happen later. There's no second filter on here, right? It's quite interesting. I wonder if it's like, how does the sine wave? The sine wave should be pretty clean, technically. I just want to see a comparison. So it's not clicky. Okay, if it's not clicky, then velocity, why can't I? Yeah, this is a little bit shitty here. So usually you have like a phase selector. So this is actually very important for making drums. And also for bass lines. Like if I make a drum sound, I want my phase to be at the loudest point of the waveform, like at 90 degrees. But I don't know how to do that here because you just have a random and then minimum and maximum value. And velocity is like, it makes the phase based on the velocity, but it's then again, it's kind of weird. Not too happy about that. Usually the phase selector should be here. Okay, let's have a look at the waveform. So what do we got here? We have sidechained in Nexus, and we're looking at... Okay, so Nexus is a little bit louder. Let's bring down the volume from Nexus and match the volume here. Okay, so now they're equally loud. So what do we see? Not really anything. So the sine wave is a clean sine wave, but something is different with the saw wave here. Okay, Let's have a look at the unison. Bring that back to a saw wave. There's also different controls. Like what can I do with the unison? So usually I have the number of voices, I have the detune and then the blend. I don't think there's a blend option here, right? So there's unison. And wait. And you can only do 5 voices max. That's interesting. What's a random unison? Uniform? I feel like uniform is more like... So 5 voices. Let's go over here. I want to make sure that the volume of them is equal. Turn that off. Turn that off. So I changed the volume on Nexus, right? Yeah. Okay, so now they're equal in volume. Maybe that's a different spot in the unison. Because this doesn't sound like usually unison sound like. Ah, shit. Don't need that. Now Serum is definitely a lot quieter. Oh, is the filter back on? I mean, they have different values, but like Nexus sounds so much louder. Maybe just because it is. Actually, it isn't. Wait. Oh no, it is. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so it is actually louder. I mean, you can see there's a difference here. I'm just gonna mute these because I'm getting annoyed by the saw wave. So how does it change the frequencies here? So it's it's more like that, right? Like you can see there's like these little mountains peeking up the more detune there is. So maybe the blend is different? I don't know. Is the blend different? Doesn't look like it, right? But it seems like the detune behaves quite different. How does it change on Nexus? So if I detune that, so the more detune it is, the more mountains come up. So now mountains, and now we bring in some mountains here. Okay, this is, ah, geez, this is such a fine control. I don't like that. Okay, I have to say, like, Serum is like 10 times better in terms of, geez, I just want to like, why can't I? Yeah, this knob has a weird behavior. What am I doing? I'm slowly moving my mouse up. It works. I'm moving it slowly down and it's increasing the value, which is not what I want. This is useless. This is really bad actually. This is a huge problem. So I can't fine adjust. There's something with this button here. Maybe it's all the buttons. Now it works, right? Okay. Anyway. There's a few other controls of the unison in Serum. And you can actually go to global and then change the way the unison works. So you can see that mountain here moved a little bit over to the right. If I go back to linear, it should move to the left a little bit. Yeah. Exponential. It's probably better if we like get the values a little bit more extreme. Yeah, then we can see what it does. But it's just the way it's like, it's spread. It seems like that Nexus has an uneven detune, because you can see this is pretty even, like the mountains from Serum. That's pretty similar, though. Interestingly. And maybe, but maybe that's the no, this is uniform. So what happens if I do random? It doesn't really change anything. Interesting. Okay, so the detune is different and the saw wave is different. So that will change a lot how the sound sounds. It does sound quite similar though, like if you compare them two. I think this one is a little bit more detuned now. You should be able, actually, can you see that? If we increase the spread, we might be able to actually see that. So this is maximum detune. How does maximum detune on Nexus sound like? Interesting. So it's almost the same. It's, what did we play first, Blade? Maximum detune seems to be the same on both. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm a little bit underwhelmed by how to use Nexus, because it just like, I don't know, I don't like the buttons. The buttons are kind of weird. Like they need to be bigger. I know it has a ton of functions, but like doesn't seem very user friendly. But the sound is amazing. Like this sound here. How do I limit it to, how can I make it? I want the filter to, no, to, well, I basically want it to not be polyphonic. How do I do that? How do I make it not polyphonic? So there's a portamento setting here. Oscillator mode. Random. There's so many settings here, jeez. Portamento, no. Envelope, loop, trigger, sync. How do I make this like a monophonic sound? I don't understand. Please help me. Modulation, pitch bend, voice. No, this is pitch bend. Voices, maybe that's the one, right? Yeah. And there's also now OTT in there. Let's make some OTT on here. I saw OTT over there. Where is it? It's not here, right? Overdrive. Transcade. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it sounds like the say bass. Nexus creators should have all done these features. No, you don't understand. Like Nexus is not like they're not the same company. Like Avenger is from Manuel and like another guy, and Nexus is from like they're two different companies. Dun, dun.